Hey guys, welcome back to a whole new video. Welcome if you're new. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. Welcome to my Officially Michele family. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and for my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for being back and rocking with me in yet another video. And as you guys can see by the title, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys some ways that you can always smell good, some things for you to just consider in your everyday life. One of the things that I love in my life, one of the things that I crave for, judge me or not, is when I go out for someone to say you smell good. I love when someone says that I smell good. And I have been in situations where I haven't gotten that compliment and I'm just like, don't I smell good? But I love when I go out and someone smells me and they're like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. Not overpowering smell good, but you just walk into a room and you smell good. So I was like, you know what, this is a sharing channel and I need to share more here on my channel. So with that being said, let's jump into this video. So the first tip that I recommend to always smelling good is to always make sure that you are moisturizing your body. And we're gonna get into it, but always make sure that you're moisturizing your body, because perfumes and fragrances last longer when your skin is moisturized, believe it or not. Someone did tell me that. So you always want to make sure that your body is moisturized. And I would definitely recommend, if you are someone who loves a scented lotion or body butter, ensure that it's not too heavily, it doesn't have a heavy fragrance, because when you add your fragrances, you do not want it to clash and you do not want it to overpower. You don't want to smell, there is an uncalled rule of when someone smells good but they walk in and they literally start burning your nose. So I would definitely recommend that make sure you always lotion. Keep in mind that when you lotion and you put on your fragrance, it actually does last a little longer. The next tip that I'm going to share with you guys is to know how and where to spray your perfume. Now, I know you guys see me spray here on my channel and I overdo it at times, but you do not need to be like me. And truly, you guys only see that aspect, but generally I spray behind my ears a lot, because I feel like when I hug someone, they will, you lean in and they will smell that on your upper body area. I spray sometimes on my chest. I make sure that my chest area is always sprayed. I also spray in this area here, obviously here. And guys, they say not to rub, so do not rub. I rub sometimes just because consciously I don't think about it, but I know you're not supposed to rub. But you don't rub, you just kind of spray it and just let it last a longer time. And I also spray between my legs. I just always spray between my legs, and I also spray on like my belly area, and I try to get a little bit of spray on my back as well. It is just me, it's just what I do. When it comes to perfume, you do not need to use a lot, but I would definitely say that there are areas where you can spray, and I'm gonna put something on the screen as to where the areas you should spray perfume, because there are specific areas, targeted areas that I have googled that has told me, okay, this is where you're actually going to spray your perfume, because when someone hugs you or when they smell you, you smell better. Another thing, before I leave the house, I always reapply, just to ensure that I'm gonna be out for a couple hours and I'm going to smell good, especially if I'm using a perfume that's not long lasting. Some perfumes are long lasting and they stay on your body, and others are not. And to stick on the topic with perfumes, one of the things that another tip to always smell good is start layering your body mist with your perfumes, or layering your perfumes, or doing perfume combos. That is something that I do all the time. It was recommended to me by my girlfriend. And so now I'm sharing that with you guys. Definitely works. It also gives you a signature scent, so when you go out there you don't smell like anyone but you, because again, when you layer certain combinations, the smell is really strong. I know for me, when I layer my YSL Libre with my Prada, I get compliments. People are like, oh my gosh. And it actually allows the Prada that doesn't stain, it allows it to stay longer. So sometimes that's another way to have your perfume last longer on you when you do that fragrance combination. You can always also do a mist with your fragrance combination. I do that a lot because Bare Vanilla is on me constantly. Bare Vanilla is on me every single day of my life. Every single day of my life. I spray on my Bare Vanilla, and any other perfume goes on after. So I would definitely recommend, if you always want to smell good and you want to have like a strong scent, if you have perfumes that are not too strong, to start layering them with each other and see if it's a good smell. And if it's a good smell, then try using it when you're going out. And the final thing on the whole perfume, I would definitely recommend, if you can get a hair perfume, because I know that they do sell them, you can always get a hair perfume to make sure that like your hair always smells good. I know of people who would put like fragrance on their brushes just to make sure that, you know, when you're brushing your hair has a really nice smell. I don't generally do that. I would generally just use a hair fragrance if I have one, or I would just use a mist. So I would use my Bare Vanilla on my hair, especially if I have like a weave or something like that in. I would just spray a little bit on it, but of course I want to make sure that my hair is fresh, because if your hair is not fresh and you use a hair fragrance, it generally smells frowsy. So you kind of have to be careful when you're using the hair fragrance, or if you're gonna use like a body mist on your hair, or if you're gonna use perfume on your hair. You guys would see me spray all over my hair. So like if my hair is back in one like this, I would take the chance and like spray a little bit, because I know I washed this today. But if I have in like a weave and stuff like that, I generally try not to do that, or a wig, unless it's freshly washed, freshly clean, because it can, chances are it can also smell frowsy. So you kind of want to be careful when it comes to that. You can always use products that have a really nice smell as well. That's probably your safest bet. And the hair perfume, those two are your safest bets. But you want to be mindful of your hair scent, because sometimes our hair does carry a smell after product buildup and stuff like that. Like it does carry a smell. So I would definitely recommend that you take that into consideration. Even when you wear braids, you may want to wash them. I know some people don't like to wash their braids, but I would definitely recommend, if it is that you want to always smell good, to take that into consideration, your hair. The next tip that I'm going to recommend is to always be prepared for eating out, because sometimes what we eat kind of give us bad breath. Like if you eat fish, your breath is gonna smell very fishy. If you're someone that is into chewing gum, then definitely I would say to walk with like a gum. I am not. I just walk around with Altoids, because that's, to me, what helps me make my breath smell fresh. And if I'm out and I don't have like my toothbrush, like if I'm at work, you have your toothbrush, but if I'm out and I don't have like my toothbrush, sometimes gargling your mouth with a little bit of water, that kind of helps. And then popping in that gum, or popping in that Altoid or that mint, that would definitely help. I also walk with like toothpicks, just in case like I have a meal, or you know, I have something in my teeth. I'm not going to be using my hand to take it out. Like you just want to kind of be prepared for certain situations. And sometimes the food that's stuck in our mouth is what really makes and gives us bad breath. And you also want to walk with like maybe a small tester fragrance, or like a small perfume. If I don't have a bag big enough to hold my little toilet pouch, I will definitely walk with like a mini perfume or a small fragrance in my bag, just to kind of refresh. Sometimes when you go to the bathroom, you just want to do a little refresh. Another tip that I would recommend, if you always want to smell good, you also want to pay attention to washing your actual clothes, you want to make sure that you clean your washing machine. You wipe it down, because sometimes washing machines hold a smell that transfers onto your clothes. And if you're someone that washes like at a you take your stuff to laundry, you also want to kind of be mindful of like making sure that that washing machine actually smells good. And you also want to make sure that your fabric softener has some, some nice scent. It smells nice. Use Downy, use a softener. And if you do have a dryer, I would definitely recommend that you invest in dryer sheets. Dryer sheets really help with like your clothes smelling good when it's done. You can also use dryer sheets in your drawers. So if you put like in your panty drawers, in your swimsuit drawers, you can definitely put your dryer sheets, just lay your dryer sheets there. It will keep your clothes smelling more fresh. And you can also use cotton balls, which that's what we used to use back in the day. But you can also use cotton balls. I personally don't really like the smell of cotton balls, so I will not gravitate towards it. But if you're someone that don't mind the smell of cotton balls, then you could definitely use that. And there's always fabric softener sprays, fabric sprays that you could just kind of lightly spray over your clothes once they come out of the dryer, or you finish washing them, or they just dried. The next tip I'm going to give is to, guys, make sure you put deodorant on before you go to bed. And deodorant actually makes us smell a little bit more fresh, especially if you're sleeping next to someone. You kind of want to make sure you smell fresh, even if you're not sleeping next to someone, because I don't sleep next to anybody, but I always want to smell fresh when I'm going to bed. You kind of want to make sure that you put on deodorant, and get a deodorant that actually works for you. I used to use the Native, and I've also used the Arm & Hammer aluminum free, but guys, those don't give me the freshness that the Dove gives me, so I'm back to using aluminum included deodorants. Judge me if you want, but those are just better for me. I just prefer it. I feel more comfortable because I know that if I go a day without using deodorant, nobody's gonna smell me. Like, that's how my body odor it's not high, it's good. So you want to take that into consideration if you want to always smell good. The next tip that I want to give when it comes to always smelling good, guys, we are what we eat. And you hear that throughout life, and it is very, very true. What we eat comes out of our pores, it comes out on our breath, it comes out. And so you want to make sure that you're getting your veggies in, you're getting your greens in. Oily food will have you smelling very frowsy. Your body odor is not going to smell good. You break out. Just be mindful of that. Too much oily food will have you smelling frowsy. So you want to make sure that you're eating well, and you are eating proper, so that when you perspire or when you sweat or anything like that, you're not smelling frozen. And my final tip of the day is your shoes. Your sneakers, your work heels, your feet. If you sweat in your feet, be mindful of that. There are things that you can do that would help you to not sweat there, because it also makes your shoes smell frowsy, and you don't want to take off your shoes and your shoes smelling frowsy. So you want to consider that. You want to use things that's going to help your shoes smell more fresh. I know some people say they put essential oils, they wipe it down with essential oils. Some people let their shoes air out. Some people make sure like their feet isn't as sweaty when it goes into the shoes. A lot of people wear socks. Maybe you might want to incorporate wearing socks in your shoes. So you want to be mindful of that, because your shoes, there are certain points on you that can make you smell frowsy, and I think sometimes a lot of us, we don't think about it. So I'm just here to remind you about your shoes. So make sure that you are incorporating things that would help you that would help your shoes not smell stink if you do take it off, or even if it's on you, sometimes you can smell the shoes, believe it or not. So you want to make sure of that. So those are all of the tips that I have for you guys today. Those are the things that came to my mind that I can think of. There's a lot of other things that you can do to make you smell good, but I think these are things that you could think about now. These are things that you can actually do now, and these are things that you already have at home that you can just put into your routine when it comes to smelling good. And so that is basically it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope this was very helpful to you and also the young subscribers that I have on my channel. Smelling good is a reflection of who you are. You don't want to go out there and someone is like, oh, did you smell that girl? She didn't smell good. She doesn't have a good smell. Kind of want to be mindful of those things. I did not do the smelling good down there hygiene, but if you guys want me to do that, then I would definitely do that and record that for you guys. I could share some of the things that I generally do when it comes to smelling good down there. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys in my next upload. Bye.